Short video for the subscriber asking about the hat videos. Listen, this is the most important part is the hooping process. All right, hooping process, and when you digitize and you know you have this seam here, sometimes you can digitize and fill in this seam first. So digitizer may fill in this middle seam first and then lay it on, because this is your problem area here, especially at the bottom tip. The closer down you get, but making sure that bar goes over there and goes in that seam between the bill and the hat. All right, and make sure you don't have a lot of air here. All right, this is the vibration that breaks the needles. Is you having a lot of air there. It'll make that, when it's making that little sound, that little puckering sound, that's going to give you a lot of vibration and eventually break your needle. You also have here, I'm trying to show you on this hoop. Where is it? Right here. All right, you see that screw there? All right, that screw, you know, this comes around. I'm trying to hold it with one hand. That hook comes around and hooks into there. You can adjust that to make things a little tighter, or some hats you may need to loosen it. Okay, all hats are different, but this is your most important part, is your hooping, and you're going to have to pull down on this hat with some strength, man. You're going to need some strength pulling down and then clamping this over. All right, pulling down, clamping this over, just making sure. This is important. Make sure that this does not have that air in there. This cannot be exaggerated. Okay, so we running on 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5 and 6. You see here, I have a titanium needle here, which is gold. I got a regular needle there for the white. It's doing white and blue. Shouldn't be a big deal. But you should change that needle to titanium, especially on structured hats like this. A lot of people don't like dealing with these hats because they are structured, they are hard to deal with, and that middle seam is a monster. So you'll see a lot of these YouTube influencers doing, you know, some sketchy looking hats, but the hats that people are going to want are Richardsons. The hats that you are going to have the most problems from is Richardsons, and you know, Richardsons are hard to get a hold of. They're a little more expensive, but you know, the quality is there. All right, you're gonna know about those Richardsons 112, and you're gonna have to know how to twerk them. Now Joker's doing little dead hats and doing unstructured hats. Man, they're not doing you any justice. Don't even, you know, it's not doing you any justice, because when people request hats from you, they're going to want high quality hats. They're going to want Richardsons. That's kind of like the standard. And you know, on the low end, like this for my brand, my people, black people, like the flat bills. They don't really like the curved ones, but they kind of getting into the Richardsons a little bit. But my clientele like the big wide flat bills, kind of New York style hats. And these snapbacks are good, and these snapbacks are only like $2. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a $2. This is a $20 hat that I'm finna do. You do the math on that. All right, you see there, we had the needle break there, right there on the seam here. All right, I told you it's a problem area right here, getting through that seam, that needle getting through that seam. I thought I was gonna be okay with the 7510. Well, I don't even know what that was, what needle that was in there. I've been doing a lot of flats. So you know, that could have been a 65, but I'm assuming that it was a 75. And I should have just went on and went and did it right, and saved myself some headache. But since I didn't, tried to take a shortcut, guess what? I had to start it over. Let's see if this works. Going over that seam. And a lot of people too, they'll digitize away from that seam. They will digitize it and try to avoid the seam if they can. And you may need to tell your digitizer that also, that you know what, I'm digitizing maybe a 6-panel hat. That's what this is. I think this is a 5-panel hat. Now this is how many panels we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6-panel hat. And you got that middle seam that you having problems with, and you may need to avoid. Even in that same spot, and we made it through. Why we make it through? Because we got a stronger needle in there. But we still got some that smacking, and then he stopped. And smacking is problematic. we pretty much got through the problem area. Everything else is gonna be pretty much smooth. But I just wanted to show y'all that because we learn from the mistakes. A lot of times you're not learning from these videos because, you know, people want to show you that, you know, these machines, everything is just perfect and it's just so easy to do. But you learn from the mistakes. Okay, that's how you learn. You learn from doing this. You're not gonna learn from videos. You learn from doing this, putting your feet, putting your boots to the ground, and doing the embroidery. And the better you do it, the better you become at it. You know, so you know you learn from the mistakes. The mistakes are valuable. I just wanted to show y'all something. You know, when you're doing the three, you know, you're doing each side, doing the front, left, and right sides in one turn. With these wide snapback deals, they can get caught here. When it's coming back in, it can get stuck right here. I was looking at seeing if I can adjust it, but I ain't gonna mess with it. But what I do is when it get ready to turn, I'm gonna push this in a little bit. There's a couple things you need to know too, man, when you're doing, if you're making a run like this, putting the clamp. So it's finna get ready to do it. It's finna get ready to turn, y'all. So I'm pushing it in a little bit just so it can go past that. All right, what you need to know though is that, you see that? He finna get ready to pop off. He stayed though. Put your clip down at the bottom. If you put it at the top, it's just gonna swing off over the place, and then you're gonna mess around and hit somebody in the eye. So put that clamp kind of near the bottom, so it'll have a little space to get around this thing. You see that's a kind of big design there. You see here a few different hats I done did already. And then this what'll happen if you don't do that. Look here. It ended up, I was up there eating, went upstairs to go eat, and so it hit this side, and then it was supposed to come back, but it ended up getting stuck. And then once it got stuck, it thought it was where it needed to be, and it started doing this logo right here, all crooked and crazy. And then I came back to some madness. So it's just something that you need to know, man. You know, different hats. Do your trace. Your trace gonna tell you. Your trace gonna show you that thing can't go around. But for when you're doing triple, I'll show you one. It's done anyway. See that on the side. You got that on the front. You got on the. When you're doing those, make sure that you know your hat can do that 270-degree turn under that silver panel.